All right, it's another Wuzi Tuesday. It is 3/19/24. We're going to dive right in. Just a reminder, we are on chapter 3, Army Discipline in the Wuzi, one of the ancient military texts. Today is verse 7. Marcus Wu asked, "On what principle should you advance and halt?" Wu Qi replied, "Do not make camp at a stove of heaven or a head of the dragon." By stove of heaven, I mean the entrance to a valley. Head of the dragon refers to the summit of a large hill. An army should display the azure dragon flag on the left flank and the white tiger flag on the right flank. The vanguard should display the vermilion bird, and at the rear should be the flag of Chuan Wu. The center of the army should display the main flag, and the army should follow its directions. On the eve of battle, pay attention to the direction of the wind. If you are facing downward, attack. If you are going upwind, strengthen your formations and wait it out. On what principle should you advance and halt? Depending on which way the wind's blowing, you should advance or halt. You should strengthen your formation. I think that's very interesting knowing when to. And I'm listening to a podcast about leadership right now, and they just mentioned today about being able to strategically retreat in a way, which I really relate with because doing these daily lessons, reading from The Art of War and the Daily Stoic, and combining these lessons has been very helpful in my day to day life. As I've done these and reflected and had that either to bolster a repeat experience, a repeat iteration, or just prepare me for an iteration that I haven't gone through before. So that's been interesting. And so knowing that the art of war, like we just the best way to win is to not go to war at all, right? Um, and so strategically retreating, and gathering your thoughts and taking time to assess the situation and gain focus of what's going on around you has proven to be a very beneficial strategy, instead of going against the wind and wearing yourself out and burning out. There's wisdom in this. So March 19th from the Daily Stoic, entitled Timeless Wisdom. For there are two rules to keep at the ready: that there is nothing good or bad outside my own recent choice, and that we shouldn't try to lead events but to follow them. Epictetus, Discourses 3.10.18. In the mid 20th century, there was an Indian Jesuit priest named Anthony de Mello. Born in Bombay when it was still under British control, de Mello was an amalgam of many different cultures and perspectives. East, West, he even trained as a psychotherapist. It's interesting when one sees timeless wisdom develop across schools, across epochs and ideas. Here's a quote from de Mello's book, The Way to Love, that sounds almost exactly like Epictetus. The cause of my irritation is not in this person, but in me. Remember, each individual has a choice. You are always the one in control, the cause of irritation. Our notion that something is bad that comes from us, from our labels or our expectations, just as easily we can change those labels. We can change our entitlement and decide to accept and love what's happening around us. And this wisdom has been repeated and independently discovered in every century and every country since time began. And I think that that's a lot of what our nation needs right now is this timeless wisdom, especially in today's day and age with the amount of things going on around the world that's filling up history books, and the time that we're living in is just unprecedented in so many ways as it has been in the past. And so knowing these and repeating these and having all of these teachings from ancient China all the way up to today and in between and everywhere really does help you get that perspective, right? That wisdom is timeless, and that no matter what, no matter who's saying it or who's recorded it, there is some wisdom to be gained.